The first step is in the drawing is to have the horizon line nice high up on your page and indicate the vanishing point with a small cross. And towards the lower part of the page, begin a loose sketch of the side profile of the Hummer truck. It is fairly boxy and simple, so you can draw in the mud flaps, windows, and other elements here. In step 2, what you do is pick a few key points of the side view and project them back to the vanishing point. So you take your ruler out, and then for the leading edge of, say, the hood, take it back to the vanishing point. Then the bottom of the windscreen, take it back to the vanishing point. Top of the windscreen, take it back to the vanishing point. So you do that for all the key points on the side profile. Step 3, and now you've got the perspective lines in place, you can draw the back edge of the vehicle. So this is actually the top edge of the other side of the vehicle. So what you do is just pick a point on one of the perspective lines, so just say here, and then draw a parallel line to the front edge. So see how that's parallel to the front line here, and do the same for the roof. So that's parallel to the front, the windscreen, that's parallel, and then for the hood, that's parallel as well. So then just be careful not to make the body look too wide. And then what you have now is a basic the body of the Hummer blocked out with pretty much a three-dimensional look already happening. So this is step 4, and now we begin to draw in the wheels. And to do this, just start drawing a line that represents the axle line, and they go from the center of the mud guards back to the project them back to the vanishing point. So that's that line there, all these lines here. Okay, then sketching the ellipse to represent the front face of the wheel, so that one there, and then just offset it slightly with the second ellipse at the back there, and that represents the back edge of the wheel of the tire. Okay, and then you join these two ellipses together with some shorter lines there, and that basically rounds out your wheel. So that's step 4. In step 5, you can see the overall shape and the body of the vehicle has been fleshed out, and then you can begin to draw in some other details. So you can add some of the door details, the hood, the cut lines for the hood, and you can notice a little scoop on the hood as well. And with all these lines, you'll notice that the horizontal lines all converge back to the vanishing point. So see that line that going back there, these lines going back there. On the hood, the lines converge back to the vanishing point. So every line that you draw on the roof, on the back, on top side of the hood, all these lines on the vehicle converge back to the vanishing point. So in step 6, basically we're just paying a bit more attention to the wheels here. In the previous step, we drew some inner wheels, the rims basically, the outside shape of the rims, by drawing a slightly smaller ellipse that matches the outside one. So it's basically just that's the outside one there, and then the smaller ones on the inside. And that gives leads us to the next step, which is to give the rims a bit more depth. So again, start with a fairly open ellipse along the same axis line. So this is a minor axis here, and that goes back to the vanishing point. So it's the same axis line there. But now what you want to do is make it slightly offset. So as you can see, it's a little bit, it's not the, it's slightly pushed in from this other ellipse here. So these two ellipses that you have drawn now, when it's slightly offset, collides at the top. And then at the bottom, there's a bit more of a gap here. So as you can see, there's a bit more gap at the bottom, but at the top it coincides with the outside of the rim. And what this does is it gives it a bit of a dished look and a 3D effect. So you can see it's kind of been offset slightly. Same with the front one. See how it's there's a bit more gap at the bottom than there is at the top, so that gives it the 3D effect. So next is step 7. So in step 6, we already drew the middle inner circle, a small circle on the back face of the rim to indicate the hubs, or the center hubs of the rims. Now we can begin to sketch in the spokes of the rim. So these are all simple 6-spoke designs where you can just draw 3 lines across the rim. So 1, 2, 3, go through the center point to indicate the spokes. And let's continue filling them out by giving them a bit of thickness. Just ensure that everything is working towards the vanishing point again, and the correct axis of the wheels are there. At this point, it's overall it's a fairly well sketched out outline drawing where everything is in the correct line of perspective, and it's slowly acquiring that 3D feel. So then we start to draw in the shadow lines on the other side of the vehicle as well. As you can see here, there's a shadow line there. And keep in mind that all these lines also have to converge at the vanishing point. So this next step, step 8, basically here emphasizing some of the lines by drawing in heavier lines. So heavier black was used to color in the tires, the area under the mud guards there, so the front there, and the same with the shadows and also the reflection line through the windows. There's a bit of grey marker just to pull off the roof racks and the spoiler across the top of the vehicle. So and the same goes with the front bumper as well. So using a bit of color to pull out the detail there. So then that basically finishes your overall sketch of one point perspective of a Hummer. So what you want to do next is, what you could do next, is convert it and using Photoshop. So here in this picture, you could use it as an underlay and then retrace it, fixing some of the little things that you didn't like, and then scan it into Photoshop and then add some color and tone to finishing off. And there you have a quick 1-point perspective. And here's a review of the process again, starting from step 1. And this is just an example, one of the tutorials you can find in the ebook How to Draw Cars Fast and Easy, authored by Tim Rugendijk and myself.